If you cannot respect the elders, respect the guys who came before you, respect the homies you came in the game with, you're done. Like, your career's done. I'm the only guy who's battled 30 MCs from South Africa, top MCs in Johannesburg. Not Cape Town, not Durban, not holiday towns, bro. Real street guys from Soweto. How can you be consistent for 1 year and diss me at the end of that year? Because you've been consistent for 365 days? Calvin was like, I'm just asking you, oh, were you signed to Navio? You know? The answer would just be no.
No, I wasn't.
Not that guy is a liar. No, you need to stop lying. You to defend that. As the people of Uganda, why would he lie? He's lying. I'm like, bro. You know, I kept on saying, like, for the last 3 years, I'm like, I can't even believe no one has done a proper orchestra. You know, I kept on saying, someone should try this, someone should do this, someone should do this. And as usual, I started to look at myself in the mirror.
Hey, what's up, people? Welcome to the NuveySHAWN podcast, and my name is NuveySHAWN, aka Ayella, aka NuveySHAWN for the people. And finally, we get that episode. I'm very excited to get into it, and drum rolls as we want them at this point. Today with me, I do have someone who's been onto the NuveySHAWN Presents before. Here we are going to have a conversation, a longer conversation than we've had, before. Ladies and gentlemen, Mwami Lubwama, aka N to the A-V-I-O.
Boss.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Nothing much.
Nice. Welcome to Rugamengo.
Yes. It's an honor and privilege to be here having a conversation with you.
Absolutely.
We know you are very busy, all getting set for an experience. I'll keep it at that.
Yep.
Can we just dive into that experience, or we save it for later?
Let's dive in. Who are we not to?
All right. Neighborhood Navio 50-something plus awards. 60. All right. I think I stopped counting at 53.
Me too.
About 7 albums.
Yes.
7 albums. Solo 6.
With Klear Kut 3.
3 albums with Klear Kut. So
2 mixtapes as well.
2 mixtapes.
That's like 13 bodies of work.
Right. Nabi is all set to give us an experience that we've not seen, heard, felt. We know within the nation.
Yeah, man. I mean, the first time I was talking about it, I kept on saying, like, for the last 3 years, I'm like, I can't even believe no one has done a proper orchestra. I kept on saying, someone should try this, someone should do this, someone should do this. And as usual, I started to look at myself in the mirror, and be like, why aren't you doing this? The same way you talk about one finger pointing out this way, and 3 are pointing back, right? Yeah. So I was like, okay, hip hop, we usually lead the way anyway. We led the way on, top quality music videos. We led the way on top quality album project, properly mixed and mastered. We led the way as far as, touring the continent, with Klear Kut. We led the way as far as, like, having concerts and launches that became concerts, I should say. So I think it was natural for me to want to, put us to the test again, see what hip hop would come up with. So yeah, I kept saying it as jokes, orchestra this. And I was like, let's do it. For my 10th show, I wanted it to be something special, something different. I've done the band. In fact, that's another trend we set in terms of urban artists, is having the band at our shows. you know, I've done that before. Now, how far can I take it? What more can I do? So that's how the orchestra thing, the first ideas of it started to come into my head. Yeah.
Right. So the idea hit you. Why not maybe something collaborative, and then you have like everyone on board, like a hip hop show?
Yeah, I mean that can, we've seen that can go wrong as well, right?
Okay.
Just this year, you know, that we've seen that can go left sometimes. So on my side, I feel like it's my 10th show.
Okay.
So I could lean on the shoulders of other people to try and get my point across, or I could just depend on myself, you know. If it was the 9th show, maybe 12th show, maybe. It's also something I haven't done. So for me to say, hey, you know, Chameleon, let's do this idea and let's do this idea when I haven't proved how it's going to work, you know, there's no proof of concept, you know, for more established artists. And then for young artists, what if it bombs and then I end up affecting their whole career as well? You know, so I was like, okay, let's just go back to the board, do it ourselves, see how it works before, you know, we see if Ugandans will accept this this level of craftsmanship, this attention to detail, you know. Because having 40, 45 musicians on stage, it hasn't been done before. You know, it hasn't been done before. It's easy to sort out with our local cultural music, but as far as hip hop, urban, raga, dancehall, even reggae, you know, I'm yet to have seen 40 people on stage, plus a dope band, plus backup singers, plus the dancers, plus Rubama Navio himself. So I like the challenge, and that's kind of where it came from.
Right. It feels like we're going to get an opportunity to listen to a more live album.
Yes.
Is there a plan for us to get like the experience, just in case we want everyone to show up for the show?
Yes.
But Serena cannot have the entire
of Uganda.
the entire Uganda there.
No, definitely. So we teamed up actually on this project with Josh SB. So we've got Josh SB, we've got Polycarp, who's a composer and a music director. We have Davies, who as well does that and plays. So between us four, we are releasing a project that has all of the songs that we're going to perform on that. So that's going to be a lot of the main hits done in orchestral format. And that's going to be available maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the concert. Yeah.
Right. So the one song that I think I would like to see in this entire experience is Cold.
Cold. You're just putting your own. You're like it's time for rehearsal, Navio.
Yeah, there is time in
there. Yes.
Time. So it's one of those songs that I feel. I think it would be nice to see the reimagination of that particular song.
Yeah.
I saw what was done at Sheraton. 20 years of Navio.
Yeah.
Yes, the song was done, but now can it be reimagined?
Reimagined and uplifted to that.
Yeah.
I think that would be a dope challenge. And Cold, I like it because lyrically also, I think people had forgotten that me and Mith could do that.
Yes.
They were like, Navio, yes, hey, yeah, he has those commercial songs, you know, and I guess on a lot of the stations, they just play that commercial music. But stuff from the albums, it's not there. So we have a whole new generation, and actually the generation before, who count what I do, or they discount the fact that I was a battle MC, the fact that I was a conscious MC, the fact that, you know, I was known for the bars in South Africa and in UG when we started. So yeah, songs like Cold do that. But I am going to have some surprises in there. Unfortunately, you were outvoted a bit. Ooh. They want to see stuff like Chigozi.
True.
You know, Chigozi, they want to see how Hamadi feels in that format as well. But yeah, in terms of like just lyrical madness.
I think it would be dope. I need to gather around some signatures, guys. We need Cold at the orchestra, like bar for bar, you know, with violin, saxophone, whatever it is that can get that. Like, it's a personal favorite. I mean, I won't really impose it, but that's, as a fan, I think.
If you get enough people to sign on, we may have time.
Guys, in the comment sections, just we need to have
Been
code.
through more Wallace than Christopher, but no jam rap roots. I'm wicked, deep in the motherland with all my listeners. White man came with the cross and forgot what the mission was. Our will was prophesized. Your skill is Columbine. We got Solomon's mind, and that's before Solomon's minds. You praise the dollar divine, so your soul and the dollar intertwine. So I could spend your spirit, body your soul, then go about my grind. Grizzly, half the dudes that they sign, iffy, burn them up like they smoke spliffy. Rookie passing my coat. Double shot for my throat, whiskey. With all that, Rubaga talk, miss me. Hey, short brother, won't beef, we can go about it. Hitting threes like Otada. When it comes to beef, I'm Pro Tools, no logic. Oh, stop it.
Right. How do you recover from a verse like Cold? It's icy.
Yeah, it's different.
Let me just dive into it a little bit. My vision of the session.
Yeah.
I wonder what it was like. But I to myself, when I first heard the song the very first time the album is out, I'm like, okay, this is really some creative synergy, a lot of harmony, like going back bar for bar.
Yeah.
And still, you know, having a good time about it. What was like the session like?
I mean, you know, the first thing you need to realize about the whole situation is like, so me and Mith worked together in Klear Kut. That's the whole 3 albums. So that's like already, you know, you already talk about 60 songs, right?
Right.
So people always like, yeah, you guys, but you know, you don't really do like back and forths, you know, with the Mith. I'm like, yeah, because we did 3 albums, you know, so all of this time it's kind of been a break from that, but not even really thinking about it so much, you know, because not that we thought like it would be obvious to work together or anything like that, but you know, yeah, we were always busy trying to collaborate with other people because we've worked together so much. But then, you know, something hit me on the last album. I was like, damn, when we do step in, it's always a classic. It's always something crazy. So when he walked in, you know, first of all, we took ourselves out of our comfort zone, out of studio. We set up our place. We were up at Kabira, so we took the whole penthouse, you know, put the studio in there, and we just had artists coming in and rotating the recording sessions. So, you know, by the time the Mith walked in and he's like, yo, okay, I guess it's album mode, first of all. And he was like, what's the vibe? And I was like, deviate, you know? So he was like, what? I was like...
That's history right there for people younger than me. That's history right there.
Yeah. DV8 was the mecca for UG hip-hop, you know, at that point in time. In Kampala, you know, we'd get together, and yeah, it basically became a thing where we had 40 people attending, and then it went to like 100. And by the time we got done, it was like, you know, 500 or 600 people coming to watch hip hop weekly.
Right.
You know, it's us performing Sylvester and Abrams, you know, Bataka, before and after Baba. Yeah, and actually in Bataka, you know, DJ Momo, he was actually just Momo MC. He was just a rapper by then. So yeah, there was so many different people who turn up on those nights and make them special. So yeah, when he walked in, and I was like, yeah, there's this beat that Dag Mizo has. He's like, oh, what's the vibe? DV8.
Dag.
Yeah, big salute to Dag. When I said DV8, he just smiled. He's like, okay, let's get it.
To me, it was definitely Otis, Kanye, Jay.
Man.
I know the line is mentioned, like, but it was Otis, and it went from having like your own person that you've been working with for almost the entire
career, my whole career. Yeah.
And for you to actually jump into a song, you go bar for bar. I found that very impressive, and the two of you keeping it, you know, close and tight. It's not just in words. It's not just jumping on a hook on put your hands up. It's really going a mile to support each other.
Absolutely.
In verse.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be scary for anyone going in back and forth with the Mith.
Right.
Because even on days where he doesn't feel like barring you and metaphoring you to death, he's going to say something graphically that's going to paint that picture. You know what I mean? So, yeah. For me, it's really dope because I'm a fan of his music, you know. And I think I was a fan from the first day, you know, we met. So it's kind of like it's a fan moment for me, you know, like, oh yeah, we're doing work. You kind of be like, yeah, he's my homie and everything. But as a brand also,
Right.
there is the Mith that I'm just a fan of. So man, that was that's always gonna be a moment for me.
Shout outs to the Mith. I know you're supposed to be on the pod. That was music in the highest.
Yes. TMMG.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's delve out of working with friend, family. Let's speak about Half a Legend.
Yes.
To this day, I've been waiting for full legend status. We know it's legendary status without doing an album.
Yeah.
That's when you start your career.
Yes.
2009. Fast forward.
Yes.
Since then, you never look back, dropping album after album. What's kept you going, like for this longevity that you've had?
Yeah, I think I was a stubborn child, you know. I think what kept me going also was the love for it, because you do have those who else moments, you know. If I didn't get up and say we're doing a concert for hip hop, when would it happen after me? You know what I mean? If I got up and said I'm gonna do live band at my show, when would it have really happened? You know, for me, those are the things that I play around with in my head. And I feel like without our presence here, you'd have had a much bigger impact or a much bigger footprint, even bigger than it is now for raga, reggae, dancehall, you know, all of that. I think we were kind of there to show that Uganda has there's a diversity to it, you know. And so, yeah, I think what kept me going was just that, and I'm being stubborn, and the fact that I'm in love with hip hop. I'm actually in love with the thing, you know. When I was younger, I had a voice, you know. I could hold a tune, you know, and I was a big fan, of course, of Michael and, you know, all of that, and even the local acts here. So it should have been, if it wasn't for my love of hip hop, that I probably end up singing, you know, and as a hobby on the side, or as I am bathing my child, you know, it would have literally just been that.
Right.
But my love for hip hop and my drive for it was so much that by the time I was supporting Klear Kut guys as almost a hype man of sorts, and us getting into battles and us getting into, you know, guys actually trying to go at us on stage, I felt like I also have to hold my own. I can't be the guy in the background just screaming on the microphone. You know what I mean? I have to hold my own, and that's kind of what prompted me to actually get better lyrically.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah, man, I'm competitive, I'm stubborn, I love hip-hop.
And it's the
It's
passion.
mainly around that, yeah.
Right. I think I was going to say Tom. The Myth says, I think it's actually on Cold when he says, if any of us was gone today, none of you would hold the torch. I'm just putting that there for whoever caught that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have received a lot of criticism throughout your career.
Yeah.
From Mwami Lubwama, you know what I'm getting at. And then from, you know, the albums, and then things like, awards.
Yep.
For a person who's just getting to this,
Yes.
what advice do you give them to keep their head above the water?
Yeah, I'd say that you need to approach this as a business. So already, if someone's not adding to your business, or they don't value you, you need to not necessarily put them in their place by doing anything. You know, sometimes you can do it without doing anything.
Right.
You know, because like I say, I'm competitive in a way, like if I'm on a basketball team, you know, if I'm on a team and there's someone on the other side who wants to compete with me, you know, I can go up and I can individually go crazy and whatnot. But at the end of the day, I want to win the game. The trophy is what I'm looking at, right? So my advice to you would be to win the game. If you win the game, you're celebrating, you are celebrated, you're getting the gold medal. You're getting the trophy at the end of the day. Stick to your craft. That is your best way of answering anyone on any queries they might have. You know, it's like having a guy who's going at me on freestyles, day in, day out, day in, day out. I may just wake up one day and say, okay, let's go. And I put my freestyle out, and that answers a question to him.
Right.
You see that from either from his silence or he's coming back to say more. That does it for him, you know what I mean? The last one I did just silenced the fellow. I haven't heard anything since. But you know, you have to realize that some of this stuff really is just petty. I do it when it's like lyrical exercise.
Right.
But at the end of the day, to have my heart in it and being criticized and whatnot, I'm like, when someone asks me, talks about what I'm doing, my immediate question is like, what have you done? You know, if you tell me, Navio, what are you doing? You should perhaps try this. That's constructive criticism.
Right.
But there's some people who come out and just be like, hey, you know, you're doing this. I'm like, what have you done? You know what I mean? What have you done? And if it doesn't impress me, as it usually doesn't, you know, because I know I'm a hard worker.
So it's more, sorry, I cut you short.
Yeah,
it's
stick
more,
to your lane. That's how I do it.
It's more like if I haven't done an album, I shouldn't talk about an album.
Yes, you can talk about it.
I could say,
and I'd love someone to critique it and give me advice. You know, be like, this was a bit weak on that. That was a bit weak on that. But if you come and just start dropping F-bombs, like that project was messed up, you also leave your TikTok, or you also leave your Twitter base like, why? You know, because someone will be like, Vibes Out the East is a classic. They'll be like, Vibes Out the East is a classic. So if you're going to come and just say, no man, that guy is whack, and that album was whack, we want to know why. You know, and a lot of people wonder about how their own credibility gets less and less through the years. You know, but when you're just spewing hate without any reason, without any backbone, without any structure to it, then you're allowing fans to be like, okay, he's not actually a serious person. That person is either bitter about something, there's something that's happened behind the scenes. You know, this is not about Navio's music. This is about Navio the person. And that's different. Yeah.
Right. I think the goal is always to be better, not bitter.
Exactly. And that would be another thing I say. You know, keep expanding your talent. So staying in your lane, understanding haters will come, and then expanding your talent.
Right.
You know, the guys who came in 2009 and they were dope for 2009, but the takas were just approaching. Then there's some guys who came and dope in 2015, and that was cool. But then we had another generation of guys coming, you know, and the guys who were dope for 2020, 2025. So you need to be dope, no matter what changes over time or whatever. Keep it evolving, basically, you know, and keep your talent getting better. That keeps you in the game. That keeps you in the conversation.
Right. And the one thing maybe some people might not know is that Nav actually played ball.
Absolutely.
Is it the Avion?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Navio came from that. You know, I used to have my little 44-inch vertical. Yeah, some would say 42. But it got me up there, you know. I had like a 44-inch vert, which was crazy. Even like before the basketball, like even high jump records, I still have some in Kenya and whatnot at my old schools. So yeah, man, the rarefied air up there has always been something that I've been about, and that really helped me in basketball. So from the dunking, we had an exchange group that would come to the court here in Wandegere, and every time I'd get the ball, they'd be like, Avion, 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 Avion. They'd be cheering, you know, Avion, Avion, which was either a plane or flight or something in French.
Right.
So once those kids left, you know, my Ugandan kids were still there. So when I get the ball now, they'd be like, Navio, 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 Navio. Because when they heard the French guy saying, Avion, Navio, Navio, we don't know where the word started. So it just ended up being Navio. It's an old basketball nickname that served me well, you know, for the rap.
Right. 20 years deep, being a Rubaga boy,
Yes.
could leave Rubaga like Tucker.
Yes, absolutely.
Would you like to say something about that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was just looking for the next rhyming phrase that popped in my head. Yeah,
okay.
So I was just doing.
No heat?
No, absolutely not. What with Tucker? Why would I want that? Why would anybody want that?
Yeah.
No. We yeah. I mean, he's my guy. We always poke fun at each other, but I was there at the genesis of his career.
Right.
And I think I've been one of his biggest supporters to date. If he's really being true about it, which he is, he's always we've always been cool. I think with Tucker, and he's legendary, man. He's done something no one else has been able to do. I don't think he's in enough conversations actually about when you talk about top lyricists in the region, not the country. Tucker, you can definitely put him up there with some of those guys. So no. I was like, I can't leave Rubaga like Tucker because Tucker just released, just left Rubaga. But now he's just left in Tinda.
Yes. When he left in Tinda, I was like, I think it's not really about...
No, it's actually leaving.
He actually explained like he had just left the place mentally and physically.
So he had left Rubaga and then now he's left in Tinda. So hopefully he's coming back to Rubaga. Taka,
we need
you in Rubaga. Me, Don MC, we are here in Rubaga. Please make your way. And the big trio, we're Rubaga boys. Yeah.
Nice. So I have listened to the music like in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
And these first 5 years, to me, I would think they've been like, okay, not the hardest for you musically or even personally, but there's been a lot of back and forth with certain individuals within the industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
It might not be a rapper, could be an individual.
Yeah.
And I'm just circling back to that.
Yes.
And I wonder how you actually...
put up with it. No.
How do you put up with it? And then do you confront some of these things? Like I think one that is really fresh off is something to do with the awards.
Yes,
I think it must have been either the song Hamadi or...
actually, it's I think you even approaching it from that side is more logical. Basically, I mean, there was just a rapper who talked about, me always winning awards, or something. And and at that, when you talk about the hip hop awards, that's like a relatively new award for me, for my career. So, like I always say, I don't think you can talk about someone who's already won 55 awards on 5 continents and wonder how I can win an award in Kampala. It was just a bit disrespectful to me. But, cool. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think the funny thing about it is the fact that they were talking about the awards as a whole, and how their song got nominated or not nominated on time. But then my song, Hamadi, came out 3 days after their song. So if anything, we should both be talking about how we can respectfully approach, after the awards and be like, hey, listen, both of our songs have been, perhaps put in front or behind, or what are your dates? It's simple. Pick up the phone and be like, yo, what were the dates? So, as you can see online, Ryonga's song came out 3 or 4 days before mine. Patiani was like 3 or 4 days before Hamadi came out. So, they really, I think we could have worked together on that. But I think the way it was approached was disrespectful. The fact that you're doing it online when you have my number is disrespectful. But also I can't really knock whatever they want to do. Whatever they want to do is whatever they want to do. Like I say, as long as it remains respectful in my face, we don't have to have any problems. You know what I mean? You do you. I'll see you on wax or I'll see you on whatever. But also I think when you do that, sometimes guys get touchy. You know what I mean? Because not necessarily about that, but I just handled a lot of issues on a couple of freestyles and raps that I've done. I was like, oh, guys want to rap? Let's rap. And then when I rap, they be calling people like, yo, why did he rap?
Right.
So it's a never a win-win for me. You know what I mean? Because when I rap, I decimate also. Right. It's especially in the battle, I start getting excited. I'm like, oh, we're really gonna do it, and then they start complaining.
We need T-shirts saying, "When I rap, I decimate."
Yeah, decimate 2026.
Sorry, I cut you short
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Were you responding to something on Neno Cypher?
Wow. That's the problem with the people who know too much about the game.
I mean, I love hip hop,
I mean,
and you know, we're always paying attention to.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was that was whole the part of the same time.
Okay.
So I was just like, you know, if it's like this, let's go. I was like, okay, if it's being handled this way, let's go. But then guys want to change it to the other way.
Right.
You know, become disrespectful, and then it's like, let's go. You know, like I always say, like the main issue is like we had to keep it respectful in my day, you know, because that is Ugandan. Right. So you could try all that cute American or cute like UK boy kind of thing where you're disrespectful, right, and you talk about who's a hood guy and who's not a hood guy. I don't necessarily think I'm a hood guy, but they call me neighborhood Navio for a reason. Since 14, yeah, since 5 years old, you know, I've been out there chilling with guys from all walks of life till date. You know, I've been out there. 14 years old, we're out there. No security, no nothing. So like, yeah, I don't need anyone to fight my battles, whether lyrical, physical, whatever. And I'm not even about that. You know, at my age as a father, I'm not really even about any of that energy. But things will be addressed and things will be handled, I guess. So if guys make it about rap, it's about rap. But then when guys come disrespecting you in your face, they leave you with less options, I think, at the end of the day. And I'm not into that, but I will defend myself at all costs. Right. You know, so it is what it is, man. I mean, people are free to do what they are free to do. Yeah, but they shouldn't, I think people just shouldn't go running home to tell the teacher or whatever when something pops off. You know, if you talk on your song like you're a gangster, you act like a gangster, you be, you know, bullying people in the industry like you're a gangster. And then, you know, you try and bully someone, you know, and they defend themselves and you get surprised. Oh, I know we were just saying we were G. I was just saying I could beat you, but I didn't mean I was going to beat you. I'm like, this is hip hop, bro. Like, mean what you say. Yeah. That's all I say. Mean what you say. Stand on it. This is hip hop. Stand on business. You know what I mean? This is hip hop, man. So, yeah, it is what it is. Right.
In other words, he prefers his steak made.
Yeah. Yes.
Plate full of steak, and he will divide.
Yes. Decimates.
He's not vegetarian, is he?
No, I am not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely a man of peace. That's for sure. Peace. You know, and I do enough in the city. I think the people know that I'm really trying to uplift. Yeah. You know, people always saying that stuff about who did you uplift? I'm like, hundreds. I've uplifted hundreds of people. Right. I hire hundreds of people. You know, musically, every show I've ever done.
I think what we miss out is that some things are not as feasible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you're not going to come out and see that that's someone that benefited from that.
Yeah. You come out, I'm not, you know, it doesn't benefit me to say I did this for someone, I did that for someone, unless I'm asked directly. You know, someone will be like, oh, what have you ever done for this artist? I'll be like, oh yeah, no, we helped him with this video, we helped him shoot that video. It comes up. Sometimes it doesn't come up at all. And that's cool too, right? But when it comes up, I answer it. And it's not a thing where I'm trying to demean or bring down someone. Right. I'm just saying, you know, I'll just be like, yo, Steve Jean recorded my first song. Right. For free. Steve Jean, the millionaire here. Yeah. You know what I mean? He did it. Like, I'm not gonna run away from it and be like, no one helped me and I just came, I descended from heaven on my throne and I've been here leading the people. Like, you know, stop it. We're all young kids in the industry once, and you need to know exactly where you came from. The only time you're gonna fail is when you do not know where you came from. Right. If you cannot respect the elders, respect the guys who came before you, respect the homies you came in the game with, you're done. Like, your career's done. Yeah.
How big of an influence is Lyrical J?
Oh man, top. I think from when I had left, Klear Kut blew up, but when I came back, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do a couple songs and then I'm gonna run away and that's it.
Right.
What he did on East African Party is show me that there is a way, like a kid from NTD can get a song playing in Dar es Salaam, can get a song playing in Congo, can get a song playing, you know, because those things as a solo act, like those things hadn't occurred to me. I knew that I was in a group of super talented guys. And so it's the same thing that BN is going through, right?
Yeah.
Where he says sometimes he gets that imposter syndrome. He's like, man, will I be able to handle when I don't have Savar over here, you know, tickling his six pack, and I don't have Chimano over here giving me that bass harmony, and I don't have, you know, Polycarp on the guitar doing his thing or production. So I went through a similar thing where I was like, damn, can I really do this solo? I don't have the Mith there, you know, just with that lyrical wizardry. We don't have ABBA on the freestyles. We don't have JB with the swag, the beatboxing, you know. We don't have Papito with the language. How am I gonna stand out? So LG answered those questions for me. Face to face, you know what I mean, as one of his youngins, you know what I mean? But also where what he was doing, his actions, like East African Party and, you know, all his songs. Like I was like, damn, this guy's doing it non-stop. And he's on his 10th album. 11th?
11th.
I think he's on his 11th album.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like he has not stopped for anything. Yeah. So he taught me about being consistent. For me, he was the first guy out the gate who was doing it in more than one country. And you gotta respect him, man. He stuck to his guns. Like I went a little commercial here and there. That guy stuck to his guns, to what he believed in. And yeah, man, consistency.
Right. Something just popped up. I had asked my people to, you know, send me a few questions as regards this interview. And the most recent thing is like, hey, what was that I am Kendrick and I am Drake talk about?
No, I mean, because someone got on an interview recently and they were like, yeah, we're gonna Kendrick Navio, you know? And I was like, oh, that's a funny thing. That's funny, you know? That's cool.
When you're both.
Yeah, I mean, just because if you take my awards plus any other rapper who's truthful about their awards, because I tell you, a lot of people's bios be switching just in one day. They go from having 6 awards and then next day they're saying they got 50 awards. I'm like, okay. But if you kept it real, right? You can take my awards, I'll double the next best guy.
Right.
When you take my tours, I will double the next best guy. If you're taking lyrical, whatever, that's a matter of opinion, but I know what I do. I'm the only guy who's battled 30 MCs from South Africa, top MCs in Johannesburg. Not Cape Town, not Durban, not holiday towns, bro. Real street guys from Soweto.
Right.
I was with Pro Kid in the final. Like I can't even, guys. Like so in terms of battle, I'll double whatever your accolades were with that. So, or your next guy, the next guy on the list, I will double that. So, that would make me what, you know? So when I say a comment like that, it's a response directly. I didn't bring up the reference of Kendrick and Drake, but this guy was saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna Kendrick him," and I'm like, "How you gonna Kendrick me?" You know, when you haven't got 5 awards. I'm on 60 something. We both stopped counting. Me and the guy who's in the industry stopped counting my awards because they must actually be.
I walked in with my facts saying 53, but
yeah, and they're downstairs. We can check them out. So
yeah,
the awards, like, you know, you've got 5 awards. Why are you saying my name? You know, guys, they've been booked for 3 shows here.
Right.
You know, I'm doing shows in Iceland, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally I've passed 1,000 shows. My accountant told me at the beginning of the year, we have passed 1,000 shows. So I'm doing 100, 200 shows a year. Okay, no, not that much. Okay. But I'm doing up to 100 shows a year. You know, every weekend we're performing. And some people haven't been booked once. They haven't been booked 5 times. And you're saying my name. So it was a bit weird to me. So I'm like, how are you gonna Kendrick me without Kendrick's accolades, without Kendrick's whatever? The next guy who I want to be in conversations with, if you talk about hip hop or rap, give me a Fefe, give me someone who's, you know, doing things. Anybody, you know, give me Mith. Like, bro, like someone who's consistently putting out music at a level, we can take away awards, whatever, just consistency. Let's talk about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You guys are hot for a year, they come out and diss me at the end of the year. I'm like, how can you be consistent for 1 year and diss me at the end of that year? Because you've been consistent for 365 days? Oh, wow.
I need to hold myself.
Yeah, I'm like, I've done 8,000 days non-stop, bro.
360 days and okay.
Yeah, hold on. 16,000. Someone do the math on that. How can someone do the math on that? If I stop rapping today, suddenly
Okay.
Sanyu will call him up and be like, please, can I please play your song and put it at number 1? I'm like, no. You got Fefe, you got Fake, you got Chameleon, Bebe, Bobby. These guys are on chart, bro. So when you see me on chart with your hip hop ass, rather celebrate.
Yeah.
You should rather celebrate.
And you see, I like the fact that you kept the conversation out of the industry because there is the temptation of hip hop limiting itself within hip hop. I feel like that has been like an issue for years. That yes, we love hip hop, but we need to work with the industry. The industry is not independent of hip hop.
Yeah, I mean, think about it, like Calligraph. Love his marketing. You know what I mean? He was there earlier on in my career, but we're not in the same generation. I'd say, But he is, what is he, 30 years old?
About.
Yeah, so he's in the generation of a lot of these guys who come at me. I'm like, do yourself a favor. Don't compete with Navio who's dropping his daughter at basketball practice. Go at Calligraph. Right. Don't go at the Ugandan throne. That'll do nothing for you. Try and see what Calligraph is doing. Build on it, mold on it, make a collaboration with him. Like, I don't know, do something young guys do. Yeah, young dudes always around, you know what I mean? Do that. But guys would rather be like, man, I heard a guy compare me to Kapeke and Joshua Baraka the other day. I'm like, and that's people from his own generation. In fact, that's a generation after his. I'm like, guys,
we need some of those trees. That's really all I can say.
Yeah, you can't be like, Navio's not hot. Kapeke is hot. Navio's not hot. I'm like, do I seem like I've ever tried to be in a league, the same league as these guys doing it? And they're doing their thing. But, in terms of like lyricism, awards, whatnot, we're on different paths. I got a Best Lyricist Award recently, Best Writer Award from Nigeria. Like, I'm not trying to tussle around and, you know what I mean? I do a different thing, but people still compare me with 21, 22-year-old artists. And I'm like, okay.
I feel like some of these things might be personal vendettas, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, nonetheless, speaking about shows, you did something in Gulu, which is the mecca right now.
Yes, absolutely.
For Ugandan hip-hop.
Yeah.
And I believe even East African hip-hop, if we push it even further.
Oliech reporting for duty.
Oliech or Dodge.
Yes.
Get into it.
Yeah. Kopango. Kopango, my guys out there in Gulu. Big shout outs to you. There's some people on the outskirts, Etienini. You know what I mean? Hope y'all are doing good. It's your boy Oliech, reporting for duty. Formerly Navio Odoch. Now the elder came back and said, and now he's the real elder. He used to be the son of the elder. Now he's the elder. He came back and said Oliech, which is elephant, which is, it's like the lion for Baganda. The elephant is the prized, big shot out there. Right. So it was very honorable for me to come back. Every 10 years, they'd give me a new name, and now apparently this is my last one. I'm part of the people out there. So big shout outs to my people out in Gulu. Yeah.
I think it was a good gesture for you to go toe-to-toe with Judas.
Yes. Yeah. And Crazy One as well, right? Yeah. Most people were like scared. He was challenging a lot of people online. He's like, yo, just come up, let's he's like, yo, let's make this business. You come up, let's battle, And so a lot of people were ducking, and I was like, why not? So they didn't even think I would be willing or able or take the trip out there. But like I say, I was one of the people who was going to Gulu when the war was popping, like right there in the aftermath of the war. I was out there. My brother was out there because he's a documentarian, so he does filming. So he was out there, and yeah, we do shows, where the townsfolk, some of them were still going through issues. Like they didn't know, they were scared to be there because they thought town was going to be raided. That's how. So I do have a big history with the place. So when someone invites me to a city like G City, I feel just as home. I'm like, yeah, you're the golden child there, cool, but I have history with the city and I'm respected in the city. But yeah, I can see why some people would be scared, physically, and otherwise. Because yeah, man, if you don't have any respect in the street and you're coming to battle the golden child, it can be quite wild. But out of respect for Judah, he'll battle someone right here. He'll battle someone in Kampala. If you're from Mabara, you want it on safe ground, he'll do that. But people could not believe. They would think for me it would be what, a waste of time or something. I'm like, no, this is uplifting a culture in a city that I love, that is the mecca of hip hop in Uganda. Of course I'm gonna be out there. And someone's talk about a battle. This is what I used to do.
Right.
This is my bread and butter at one point. So, yeah, man, I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. Minus that, let's go to a few cities. Let's not just do Gulu, let's add a couple cities to it. So that was dope, man. A tour for battles. I mean, these are the things that people need to be coming up with, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. And people with more energy.
Sure.
than the old one.
Yeah. Right. Speaking of moving city to city, as we wrap, Navio X projects.
Yes.
You do this album.
Mm-hmm.
I think Joy Joy is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Then, of course, Lotto Doge. Then the Angori. I've forgotten the
Ekori. No, Nangoria.
Nangoria. So those are one of my favorites.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I see it was more of, celebrating, the culture in Uganda.
Yeah.
How does this come about? Because why I'm asking this
Yes,
question,
yes.
most young people do not know how to create assets. That is in terms of IP.
Yes.
I create, let's say, show. I go like on TV. I have brand influencing. You previously had Johnny Walker. You had, I'm now mixing a lot of things.
No, that's good. I understand the flow.
You had Johnny Walker. You had Hennessy. And I think right now it's Luke Belair. And with all these things happening, the criticism, the brand is still remaining solid.
Yeah.
Like, talk about it from the perspective of you can create more than just make music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think, well, the first thing people have to think about, and same thing I just complained about earlier, in terms of like bookings, right? When you are a musician, you do music in a studio. You release it to the public. You can perform it and go on tour with it.
Right.
And you have to hype it up. Those elements you cannot live without. One thing I see is people doing music in a studio. Either you distribute it to just your friends and you go to Bandali and blast. Or you release the music, you do 2 interviews, and you're like, I've done it, Kampala. Man, I gave it to Hot 100, bro. I'm good. Or they do this music in studio, and then they just go and perform it, but people can't find it online, they can't find it on radio. All of these, it's a symbiotic relationship. All of these elements have to be there, So if you're not performing, I think you need to work on, for example, this is just an example, meeting the promoters, asking the promoters for slots so you can prove yourself. Like, why not? A lot of these guys will go and spend 100K at the bar. You know what I mean? You take 20K, call the guy, be like, can I take a board over there? Give me the slot when the place opens. And you get on there and you practice and you practice and you practice. I'm an MVP in 4 different sports. And I'll tell you, like, you have to just repeat the same thing over and over again to perfect what you're doing. So performing, the things that work, things that don't work, etc. Now that I'm a bit older, I sometimes go for the low-hanging fruit as far as performances. But then when I can, I'll go out and do a Navio Orchestra, right?
Right.
So I think people just need to be more switched on about that in general. Yeah.
Maybe
So you have to think about every project like that. And when you start thinking about the fact that a song means I have to do these 4 or 5 things, now when you move into those 4 or 5 things, it now opens up more things that you can do. So I have, I'm going around Uganda. What can I do with this trip? You know, in terms of my music, I can do a song, I can do a TV show, etc. You know, when you think about, you know, a basketballer is like, yes, I can play for my team, I can create a shoe, I can go to basketball camps, I can set up my own academy. You know, you think about anything. My good friend Michael Blackson is like, I'm a comedian and whatever. I can set up a school in Ghana. You know, I can act in movies. I don't have to just do stand up, and you know, so I feel like we have avenues. You can't just be like, I rap and that's it. Like, you got to do something. And then if you're not doing it with anything else and you're big enough, there's a CSR component. You have to help young Ugandans win, whether or not it's in music directly. You have to do something to give back, you know, in terms of like charity and just using your time. You don't have to give money, but I feel like that's a big aspect. So yeah, you know, we got on the road with tourism, checked out the sights and sounds because it's something I wanted to do anyway. Had a camera follow us, had a lot of fun, brought the studio along with us, you know, with Baru and Awasa, and made an album project that we could release. So yeah, I mean, there's always ways to get IP, like you said. You know, just think out of the box, think courageously, and don't necessarily think about how you're getting the money out of it to start with. You know, at first, good ideas should come to life. And it's like that other thing they say about Michael Jackson, right? When he was saying that someone will do your idea, and you'll be like, did I talk to someone? Anything that you want to do might just pop up and become a reality for someone else. Because no idea stays safe.
Yes.
So if you have something and you want to do something, try and make it a reality before someone else does.
Right. Let's speak about the endorsement.
Yeah.
How do you approach? I know every creative person should figure out how to, you know, go about this.
Yeah.
One of the criticisms came that I caught wind of was more like, but how is it that we're not getting the gigs and it's particularly this person?
Yeah.
For a fact, my response would be you definitely need to do your own groundwork.
Yeah.
But
or just give me a direct call.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Isn't it a weird thing that someone would complain online?
Online, yeah.
You know, again, like, you're negatively affecting my brand. Why would I now be rushing to call you to help you with your problem? It's like, we're in a situation together with the other awards thing. I was in a situation together with these people.
Yes.
But the fact that they're disrespecting the awards, disrespecting hip hop, disrespecting a woman, you know, who's doing the awards, like, for me, I was like, yeah, my song is also maybe badly nominated, but I don't want to, I don't, y'all go ahead and just complain online. You could have picked up a phone call and been like, yo, what's up, wow? And then if you feel there's something fundamentally,
how do we go about it?
Be like, how do you go about it? What were the years? What were the time slots? You know what I mean? We could have done that, but I didn't want any business with it now. When the only, was it 200 people nominated? I don't know. But we're the two who feel like our dates might have been off. And I'm the biggest rapper. So maybe there is an issue that we should have sorted out with the awards, maybe not. But we could have done it together. If you just like, yo, Navio, hey man, it's crazy how this thing happened. Wow, what? Hey, what was the time frame of this? Then
What's the calendar? Yeah,
I can even we add that on the call. I call Nuvey, yo, have you got Asta's number? We add that on the call. Listen, we're looking at our nominations. What? Issue done. Issue sorted out.
Right.
Maybe the awards issues an apology to both Navio and whatever. But when you come, you know, scrambling around and causing trouble, the awards now end up not respecting you. Navio ends up as an enemy on the other side of town. Why would you ever put yourself in that position? It's a weird place to be when I have 1 million fans to give you for free.
Right.
When I can pull you into that so easily. You know what I mean? You make an enemy of a guy who's got songs with guys you dance to at Bandali every weekend. Stop it, bro.
Who said they have more bars than Bandali? Anyway, as we wrap, you can choose to respond to this. Someone said all they ever received was sausages.
Oh, hey, from yeah.
You can choose to respond to.
Listen, man. That was food made by my own mother, man. So guys can really get disrespectful out there, bro.
Unfairly.
Guys can get disrespectful. You come to. I'm sorry. I don't know what else they wanted to eat that day. Like, I don't even know why that is relevant. How that came. I heard about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, how the hell did that come? How is that relevant? When people are so desperate to, let me tell you, and we talked about it on TV with Calvin.
Yeah.
Calvin was like, I'm just asking you, were you signed to Navio?
Yeah.
The answer would just be no.
No, I wasn't.
Not, that guy is a liar. No, you need to stop lying. To defend that. As the people of Uganda, why would he lie? He's lying. I'm like, bro, just answer the goddamn, just say no, bro. Because you don't have a guarantee. Do you think I went and told Calvin I signed the GNL for the first time on TV? No. I've never claimed to sign. I never claimed to sign people. Unique, who was rolling with me, I didn't even have a written agreement with.
Right.
Yeah, the one I did have with Don MC, we handed over peacefully to Platinum Entertainment, Shadrach, to take him to the next level. Right. You know what I mean? So like, I would never lie about something like that. Why? How would it benefit me to lie about that when you're also a public figure? Right. For a chameleon to be like, yeah, I signed the Diamond Platinums. For Diamond to be like, no, bro. Why would I put myself out there like that? So I don't know if Calvin was setting him up.
I think
because he knew it was a sore spot.
I think so.
But he just asked peacefully. Calvin just asked peacefully, yo, have you ever been signed to Navio?
Right.
So to turn around and call me a liar, we gonna talk about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We gonna link up. We gonna talk about it. What are we lying about?
We established that at least we know Don MC was signed.
Yeah. I'm not even sure we had Kapapulas for him. I think I just did that to get more money out of Shadrach.
Okay. Nonetheless,
yeah.
I had to bring that up because it's one of the funniest things I had this entire year because I didn't get it.
Yeah. What did you say? We also have sausages in Kawempe.
Yeah, sure.
That's cool. I mean, listen. Yeah, man. I mean, if someone comes in with all the answers, so be it. But why? There's also money in Kawempe. You know what I mean? But you have no problem asking me for a budget for your video.
Yeah.
There are also clothes in Kawempe, but you have no problem coming and asking me for money to get gear.
Right.
They also have dentists in Kawempe, but you have no problem asking me for money to go to the dentist. You know what I mean? And these are issues I wouldn't bring up, but at some point you got to be just a little bit respectful for those people who help you. Yeah. We're not trying to demean you and make you look small. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody mentioning this stuff until you ask me about it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. I mean, like I said, best of luck to him. Yeah, we've been seeing the work. We've been seeing the stuff he's been putting out there, the amazing shows that are happening. Yeah. And we wish him the best of luck. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I can do. But, yeah, as soon as you start, he also had a little comment, about, where he talked about my wife's apparel on his podcast or something. We're going to link up. Right. We're going to talk about it face to face when I see him, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just man to man. That's nothing bad. Right. We're going to talk about it, you know what I mean? But I just want him to keep the same energy and be keep whatever energy he wants, and answer the answer. You gotta answer. We gotta talk, bro. Right. We gotta talk. So I'll see you soon. Like I always tell him, I'll see you soon.
Hit the boy on the direct line. Okay, as we wrap up, I just have one more question here from a producer.
Yeah.
And the question is, how can younger producers work with you?
I'm always doing a lot of work. I'm always doing a lot of work with younger producers. And then yeah, I think we had a good blend of people. I mean, there was going to be the people who I came in with, right?
Right.
The Athans and the Samurais. But that doesn't mean to say, like, on a Vibes, for example, you know, we come out and we do something with a Dagamizo. Yeah, I mean, working with me is quite straightforward. I need some dope stuff, you know. It always helps when you have some kinetic movement yourself. You know, you're moving, you know. That helps. But then also just having dope stuff that we can hear. You know, it's like MCs who are like, I want to work. I'm always like, spit something. I'm always like, spit something. You know, the last guy in like the last 5 years who I said rap and he did it without even blinking was the homie.
Yeah,
You know?
that's the homie.
Yeah, I told him rap and he rapped and I was like, oh, that's dope. So I put him on a song on Vibes Out the East. You know, a song that we did with
He actually mentioned
Bandare.
something about moving to Buziga and then Ziga.
Yeah. So like,
it was grateful.
Yeah, so I did, you know, I put him on the song. Done. So for me, you got to be able to rap, you know, show you, showcase your art form. Not showcase your show form. Showcase your art form when we ask you to showcase it. You know, a lot of guys I meet, they'll be like, yeah, I rap. I'm like, drop something. He's like, no, I want you to hear it in there. You know, I come from that live side, the battle side. I want to hear what you got, you know. And then we can see how to place it. But we've never, my boys, between me, Flex, and Mith, we've maybe made the careers of over 300 people. You know, help them to get producers, help them to check out if they really wanted to do this, you know, send them to an elder to talk about the industry and how they could move their brand forward. We've really helped people. You know, Flex has Rapaholics and Concrete. Oh my goodness. The Mith has TMMG. Like, they've really helped to bring up people. You know what I mean? I mean, some of these people you talk about, some of these haters damn near spent 6 months at the Mith's house. Basically, it was like a writing camp. You know what I mean? Where the Mith was helping. You know what I mean? And we're all a crew helping each other. You know, we don't need to say who helped who and who made who sausages. You know what I mean?
I didn't think we would revisit that.
We all came, me neither. We all came out of this successful. Yeah, man. I mean, you know, keep doing your thing.
Right. I've seen you do classes at Motive.
Yes.
I think earlier this year.
Yes, last year.
Okay.
Yeah. We want to do a season 2 of that. You know, bring it to the people again. We were lucky enough to be able to impart some knowledge, you know, to people coming into the industry. It was totally for free as well.
Right.
It was pretty time consuming. So we always need to find a time when all 9 of the people who are teaching have a free few months. But I think we're definitely going to have to put it on again because it was so beneficial. So many people who we helped have actually learned something and you know, come back into the industry stronger. So I think it's definitely something we have to revisit for another season. Absolutely.
Sure. All right, let's wrap it up with the forthcoming show.
Yes.
Yeah. Any last words to talk on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going down October 4th.
4th, yeah.
At the Serena. It's the first time we have a rapper plus 40 musicians plus a dope band, you know, plus backup singers, plus guest artists, all at Serena. It's the first time I'm doing Serena as a rapper. So I think, it's going to be a big one. And not to mention, it's 10 years of Navio. So come through, it's going to be a mad one. We're going to be previewing my latest album before the show, you know, for some lucky VIPs and fans.
20 years, not 10.
Yes.
10th album?
10th show, 10th concert, 10th concert. We're going to be previewing my new book as well. People who come to the show will have access to either purchase the book or if they're, depending on where they're sitting, they get a free copy of the book. So we're going to slash prices as well from the 150K to 130K. You know, if they get it on Momo, that's a special from Momo.
Right.
So that's a quick plug in case you're thinking of buying tickets at the 150. On Momo, you can get it at 130. So man, just come through. Let's have a blast. Navio in orchestra, never been done in East, Central, West, and in Northern Africa. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a mad one.
Right. Guys, you just got the Easter egg right there. Just sit in the right spot.
Yes.
That's when you can get the access to the book early
Yes.
and everything.
Yep.
As we wrap up, these are not questions.
It's a rapid fire.
Yeah.
Or it's commentary.
Yes. So, half a legend or vibes out of the East?
Bro, half the legend. Damn you.
Ngalo or Nawudida?
Ngalo.
Okay.
But bro.
Cold or trophy? Trophy season?
Cold.
Yeah.
Cold.
Yeah. Cold or Abanaveka?
Really?
Yes. Let's go.
No. I don't just no. I rebuke that question.
Okay. No answer. Banji. Oh, this is a bit tricky. Banji or Sunset Drift?
We gotta say Banji, man. We had a good time on that. We had a good time with that.
Okay, and then Day One, and okay, this one is the first one. Day Ones and what's that song? Day One.
No.
No. That would be with Abanaweka. Day Ones and let's just say Banji.
Banji.
For obvious reasons. It's too obvious on there.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Day Ones.
Day One.
Yeah.
Banji.
Pussy boys to the left, battalion, yeah, rally on to the checks. Gotta be some dumb period, we can flex. Yeah, have it all. Carry on with the set. Bet a bunch of bad chickens on the jet. It was like almost like freestyle floor.
Right.
So I like that Day One's best, yeah.
Dream of moving forward.
You mean like in life, or you talk about my songs, Dream or Keep Moving?
Yeah.
Keep Moving was nominated at Chandra Awards, but Dream had the Jose Chameleon at Kasampo. Damn. I'm gonna say Keep Moving, featuring Benon Mugumbia.
Right.
You guys are gonna kill me for that. I know.
I know. My answer would be both. Without the other, you can't move forward.
True.
Without the other. You need to have like a dream and
absolutely.
To move
weirdly enough,
you
mentioned those because on both of those, we used to perform like crazy. The recordings of both of those, I had to record them. And I had come out of 2 weekends. One weekend I had 5 shows and 3 appearances. And the other weekend I recorded Keep Moving. I had 6 shows. And my voice was gone on the Monday when I went to Just Jose to record those songs. Right. So that's why the flow is like that. So pure every time I flow. Righteous every track I touch. Like, I'm not putting it on. Yeah. My voice was gone. Yeah. And even so many stories out my hood. Half a tragic. No toys as a kid. To me, cash was magic. Outside my window was a wall that was graphic. Now my view is just so damn panoramic. Yeah. We had you connect to those 2 flows. Yeah.
Lose an album and we write more.
Yeah. I would rather not lose any.
Okay.
That is a question.
So to lose an album.
Yes.
And you write more, or to just walk into the booth and record one. I know that was an experience that someone tried to share with me. Yeah, but I didn't get like the full.
Yeah, I mean, Klear Kut. So on the Klear Kut side, we recorded our 3rd album. So we had Mind, Body, and Soul. Then we did K Squared. So now we're supposed to do K Cubed. We go in the studio with Dawu. We record the whole album, 15 songs.
Right.
And then we go away and someone robs the studio. Oh. And this is when we're going back to school. So we had a pretty big reason for guys to be flying back, right? Like, JB from Canada and, ABBA from Germany. We had a good reason to be coming back. But after we lost that album, I think that's really where you saw me and Mayanja, Tom the Mith were on ground. And the other 3 were kind of, in outside countries. But I feel like if we had released K Cubed, which is the album that was lost when they robbed Dawu at the studio, I feel like we would have probably still had like 2 or 3 more projects with Klear Kut before you ever saw solo careers from any of us. Yeah, we thought the reunion would happen. Yeah, no, it's coming. It's coming. In 2020, 2021. Yeah. That's when I thought the reunion, because there were pictures in the studio. And yep. It was supposed to be, but then now COVID. Yeah, and COVID kept us locked up for like a year. So, yeah, you keep going back to square one. And when you got some grown-ass men, you know, things move, times move, projects move. But yeah, I'm still hopeful. I'm the biggest fan of Klear Kut. I'll tell you that. So I'm still hopeful we're gonna get a project in the next 2-3 years.
This episode was brought to you by Zara Homes. That is IZAARAHOMES.com. The number will just be right here on the screen, and you can support the people. My name is NuveySHAWN, aka Nuvey Live is for the people, aka Ayella. Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, it's been Navio.
Yes, boss.
Thanks for making time.
Man, absolutely, man. All day. It's Nuvey way. You understand?
It's the Nuvey way.
Yeah, much love and respect. We'll see you guys at the concert. Serena, October 4th. It's your boy, the Navio Orchestra. Peace and love. Get your tickets now.
Let's go.
Thank you. We'll be here all week.